Hi guys, it's Heather from heatherchristo.com, and today I am making chocolate coffee pistachio scones. They are vegan, gluten-free, and one of the tastiest breakfast treats I've had in a long time. So if you're hosting a brunch or just trying to do something nice for your family, this is an amazing option. That coffee and chocolate pair so well, and that golden pistachio is like the perfect flavor accompaniment. Okay, let's get started. First, we're gonna take the coconut milk, and this is just refrigerated coconut milk out of a carton. We're gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And I know this sounds crazy to be putting in scones, but it's really gonna mimic buttermilk. It's a faux buttermilk technique. So this will kind of curdle as it sits here, and we're gonna let it marinate while we do all of the dry ingredients. This is an all-purpose gluten-free baking flour, and I like to use Bob's Red Mill. It's a great blend. And then I'm gonna add shredded unsweetened coconut to the mix. This gives the scones a little bit of texture and a little bit more moisture. Then we've got sugar. And in here we've got a mixture of baking powder, kosher salt, and instant coffee. I'm gonna combine these and just pulse them together. And then I'm gonna add my cold vegan butter, which I've chopped up into little pieces. This is sort of like making pie crust because you want these to be tender and flake a little bit. Okay, at this point it has a nice kind of pea-like consistency, and it just shows that that vegan butter's been cut really evenly into the rest of the dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lid back on and add the milk. Okay, so this is it. It's gonna be kind of a crumbly and sometimes really wet dough, and we're gonna turn it out and work it all together to make sure that the consistency is consistent. Okay, so as we have this dough here, and one of the cool parts is that you don't need to flour your surface, especially if you're working on a stone surface. So to this dough, we're going to add chocolate chips. This is gonna seem like too many chocolate chips and too many pistachios, but I'm not sure if that's really a thing or not. And it will fold in here really well once you get started. And I just like it because then you find little chocolate chip chunks and pistachios all the way through the scone and not just sprinkled on top. And you'll see this dough comes together really pretty easily. And I like to just kind of push it out into a large disc shape. Then I've got a prepared sheet pan with the Silpat, but you could definitely use parchment paper. And then I just take a knife, cut it down the middle. And then I like to do 6 larger scones because I like them larger instead of 8 small. And you can just sort of squish it back together and place these on the Silpat. Okay, and then I've got an oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna pop these in there for about 12 to 14 minutes until they're just starting to get golden, and you will smell that they are done. So here we go, the scones are all done. They're a beautiful golden brown color and picking up all of the coffee grounds in there. And now we're ready to do the best part, which is glaze them. So I just like to take cooled scones and transfer them to a pan with some wax paper. And then I'm gonna make the glaze. These actually get double duty here. First, I'm gonna make a glaze using powdered sugar and some really strong espresso, which is cooled slightly, but we're just gonna, really hammer home the fact that there is a coffee flavor to these scones with the glaze in addition. Okay, when you have a nice smooth glaze, you kind of have multiple options here. You can just take this and drizzle it over the top. You could get really aggressive and dunk an entire scone in. Don't mind if I do. And have this beautiful topping. It's looking very a la Starbucks right now. And then I'll do a few with a drizzle for those who like less glaze. And then we get the second part, which is melted chocolate, because these weren't delicious enough already. And this I do like to just drizzle over the top. There you go. These are so incredibly indulgent. And then you'll pick them up, leave the mess on the wax paper, and have perfect chocolate coffee pistachio scones that are kind of gonna drive everybody wild. They're so good. Enjoy. Full recipes over on heatherchristo.com.